What's up, you guys? Eddie of Fliptronics. I'm going to be talking about 5 things that iPhones do better than Samsung phones. So if you guys are thinking about getting an iPhone going into 2017, I'm just going to, hit home on the top 5 reasons you might want to, try one out. I've been using Samsung and iPhones for, the last few years, so I love them both. But there's definitely some things that iPhones can do better than Samsung phones. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was iOS updates. So Apple's constantly updating their OS. So if you have any software glitches on your iPhone, it's gonna fix itself every few weeks, mainly because they're always updating. Samsung, you're gonna have to wait quite a while. I mean, every 2 or 3 months you could expect an update. So if there's anything going wrong, then you're gonna have to wait for an update. So that's one thing I like about Apple. They're always updating their OS. Another thing that's frustrating for Samsung or Android users is that for whatever reason, apps are always released first on iTunes in the App Store, and then we have to wait for them on the Play Store. That's something that's really annoying. So I mean, but if you're using an iPhone, you're going to get that benefit that you can get the app first, as opposed to on the Play Store you're going to have to wait who knows how long. So apps are always released first on the App Store, so you'll be able to get them first on your iPhone, which is pretty nice. Another thing is the app switcher on iPhones I really prefer. So on Samsung phones, you hit the bottom left button and you can navigate through different apps like this. They come in like a rectangular square kind of shape. You don't get to see the whole app, as opposed to on an iPhone when you double tap the home button, you can navigate and you can kind of like see the whole app. So I really like the app switcher a lot better on iPhones and iOS. It's just much nicer, much cleaner. Another thing, you guys, is that you're going to get much better security on an iPhone. So 97% of malware and virus attacks happen on Android and Samsung phones. So I mean, it's because it's open source, so you can kind of mess around with it more, as opposed to iOS. I mean, it's just a lot more secure. Apple's got so many security policies in place, which makes it harder. So that's something. You're gonna get much better security in an iPhone. So mainly because it's not open source. The last thing, you guys, and this is another big one too. Like, if you're gonna spend $600 or $700 on a new iPhone, they tend to hold their value a lot longer than a Samsung phone. I think this is really frustrating for people, but I mean, iPhones tend to hold their value. I mean, even if you have an iPhone for like 2 years, it's still going to be worth quite a bit of money, as opposed to a Samsung phone. They just seem to drop a lot faster. So that's another thing, you guys. But those are my top 5 things, you guys. Like I said, I would appreciate a like and a share on this video, you guys. As always, stay tuned for more, and be sure to subscribe to our channel.